Hello and welcome back to my channel. So today we are going to start a new fresh chapter from the unit diversity in the living world. So in the last videos we have completed our first chapter, that is the living organism. Now we are going to start the second chapter, that is biological classification. Okay, so let's get started then. So biological classification is what? It's just the scientific procedure of arranging organisms in a hierarchical series of groups and subgroups. Okay, on the basis of their similarities and dissimilarities in simple terms. Okay, so let me write it down for you. So biological classification is what? It just the scientific procedure. Okay, scientific procedure of what? Of arranging organisms in a hierarchical series of groups and subgroups. Clear? On what basis? On the basis of their similarities and dissimilarities. Okay, similarities and dissimilarities. Clear? Biological classification is what? Again, I am explaining. It is a scientific procedure in which we'll arrange the organisms in groups and subgroups in an hierarchical series, means in an arranged in an orderly manner. Okay, on what basis? On the basis of their similarities and dissimilarities. On what basis they'll resemble each other or they differ from each other. Okay, clear? So next thing comes to our mind is that what is the need of classification as well. Okay, so if I write it down, what are the needs? So let's get started first with to study. Okay, everywhere you can see that to study the organisms we need to classify them in the orders. Okay, in a proper way, to make some scientific study about their morphological characters or their phylogenetic makeup and all. Okay, so first thing is to study the organisms. Second, to understand the relationship amongst different groups of organisms. Second one is to know the relationship of organisms amongst different groups of organisms. Okay, let me minimize this. Clear? Different groups of organisms. Second is third is to know the evolutionary relationship between organisms. To know the evolutionary relationship between organisms. Okay, so why do we need biological classification? To do some scientific study to know the relationship of organisms amongst different group of organisms, then to know the evolutionary relationship between the organisms. Clear? So these are the points. That's why we need classification, biological classification to be done. So starting with a little bit of the history. Okay, so let me write it from here now. So there have been many attempts to classify living organisms since ancient times. Not from today, from the ancient times. Means if I say it's started from 20th century actually. Okay, so and before that also done. So I can't actually say that this is the time period when the classification was done. Okay, but in the known things which have been recorded is from the 20th century, and before that there are many more which have been already classified organisms on their different bases. Okay, so starting with the very first, that is Aristotle. Aristotle, he classified, actually he was the earliest to attempt a scientific basis of classification. Okay, so he used simple morphological characters. He used simple morphological characters to classify the organisms. Okay, so morphological is what? From the outer side. Yeah, so in this, if I say about plants, he classified plants into three divisions, or say three groups. Okay, first, second and third, starting with trees, shrubs and herbs. Okay, and in animals, he classified animals in two groups. Okay, those who have with or who are with red blood, named anemia. Okay, and who are without red blood, those are known as anemia. Okay, clear? This was given by Aristotle. Okay, and as we can say that they are not properly classified, so we need a particular type of classification in which we can easily study about organisms, particular organisms or particular group of organisms. Okay, the group should be like, if I pick up one group, I can understand, if I study one organism, I can understand the whole group of organisms. In general terms, they'll differ at some point, but they should resemble more. So I can understand the type of organisms that group is containing. So we all wanted that type of classification. So to understand that, I guess I need to tell you something about classification system first, before I'm going to explain the classification. Okay, classification system. So classification system are of three types actually. Okay, they are of three types. Number one is of artificial system. Then comes the natural system, and then comes the phylogenetic genetic system. Okay, so let me start with artificial system. Actually, this is based on one or few characters, okay, which are not related to phylogenetic significance. So let me explain you first the phylogenetic one. If I'm using this term, you should know about phylogenetic system first. So phylogenetic system is though that system which is based on evolutionary let me erase a little bit. Evolutionary evolutionary and genetic relationships of organisms, which is more scientific and natural, which is more scientific which is more scientific and natural. Clear? And you know, this was first proposed by Engler and Prandtl. Okay, but the one who is known as the pioneer of phylogenetic system was named pioneer of phylogenetic system was A.W. Ishler. Okay, he was the pioneer of phylogenetic system. Now I should come to the next one. The first I was going to explain, but because of the term phylogenetic, I need to explain that first. So phylogenetic system, I have explained, that is the evolutionary and genetic relationship. Okay, so now the artificial system is based on one or few characters of the organism, which is not related to phylogenetic significance, which is not related to phylogenetic significance. Clear? So this is what artificial is. What it actually consider one or few characters only, the system, and which is not related to phylogenetic significance, which is not related to means evolutionary and genetic relationship. Those characters are being chosen in this. So the first system, that is the first artificial system, was proposed by Theophrastus. Okay, Theophrastus was the first one to give the artificial system, and he classified plants into herbs, under shrubs, then shrubs, and then trees. Linnaeus also supported Theophrastus for this classification. Clear? Here Engler and Prandtl was first proposed the phylogenetic system, and A.W. Ishler was the pioneer of phylogenetic system. Okay, now let's move to the natural classification system, which is based on the overall character of the organism, which indicate natural relationship of the organism. Okay, which indicates natural relationship of organisms. Here, so and who proposed the first natural system? There are three scientists who gave the most important system of classification of angiosperm and through the natural system. Okay, who gave the angiosperm classification, most important. Okay, and their name was, number one was A.L.T. Jussieu. Okay, second one is George Bentham, and the third one is J.D. Hooker. Clear? So these are the three types of classification system which the scientist actually took to classify the organisms. Okay, so this is the classification system. This was the introduction, and I'm going to tell you about a few more systems that are other classification system that are given by the scientist. Okay, let me write it down. Other classification system. In this, the first was two kingdom classification, two kingdom system. This was given by Carlos Linnaeus. Okay, in 20th century, let me write around 20th century. Okay, and he divided organisms into two groups, that are animals and plants. Okay, second one is three kingdom classification or three kingdom system, given by Ernst Haeckel in 20th century, and he divided Protista organism into three, Protista, animals and plants. Okay, third, four kingdom classification or four kingdom system, given by Copeland in 1956. He divided organism into Monera, Protista, animal and plants. Then come the five kingdom classification, which we are going to discuss in our next video. Okay, five kingdom classification given by R.H. Whitaker, which is actually accepted worldwide. 1969. In 1969 he gave that, starting with Monera, Protista, fungi, Animalia, and Plantae. Okay. Now, in the modification of five kingdoms classification, the sixth kingdom classification also was done, in which, and this was given by um, Carl Woos in 1990, and actually he divided Monera. Okay, he divided Monera into two subgroups, and he made it the kingdom. Okay, so Monera is divided into two, that is archaea bacteria, which are the primitive organisms in the earth. Okay, eubacteria, protista, fungi, animals, and plants. Okay, this was the manner in which these kingdoms are being formed and or say classified. Okay, so we'll discuss the five kingdom classification, which was accepted and which was mostly used in nowadays. So we're going to discuss the five kingdom classification in our next video. So I hope I have cleared the introduction part of biological classification chapter. So we'll meet in the next video. Till then, stay safe, and yeah, if you have any doubt, drop drop it in the comment box. Okay, and please do like, share, and subscribe my videos, my channel, and also don't forget to watch the next video to maintain a link. Okay, so thank you.